can sit down, please sit down.
From my enemies, till all my fears are gone. You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies, till all my fears are gone. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God.
Hallelujah. Spirit vessels, thank you so much. Please, you can have a seat. Thank you so much for such an amazing ministration. Hallelujah. Our God is a good God. Our God is a good God. I welcome each and every one of us this evening on behalf of God and the leadership of this great house to this service, this encounter service. I want us to please help me honor and celebrate our senior pastor and his dearly beloved wife, Prophet Michael, and Pastor Damilola Ayodele. Can you please help me celebrate them? Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma, for all that you do and for the Lord that you show to us. Please help me also celebrate our resident pastor, Pastor Victor Chai. Thank you so much, Pastor, for all that you do and all that you represent. And please help me celebrate Pastor John. Thank you so much, Pastor, for all that you do and all that you represent. You know, sometimes you might not know how difficult it is pastoring. You know, sometimes when we say we're celebrating the men that God has placed over our lives, not because we just desire to celebrate them, but because we have no idea of the things that these men go through just to bring the word to us. The sacrifice is a month of love. And so, sometimes when we think of the sacrifice, money cannot quantify. You can actually pay. Because it is love that influences you to do the things that you do in ministry. Many who came into ministry not because of that primary thing called love are out of ministry today. Why? Because sometimes offense has pushed them away. How will I kill myself? How will I be killing myself for the same people who are fighting back against me? I remember many years ago, a pastor that was posted to the church many years ago in Living Faith Church. He was coming to church on a Sunday morning. A man who had taken time to prepare message for that number of hours. Some set of so-called elders locked the church that he was not going to enter the church that Sunday. Why? Because there was something he was supposed to sign, it inside. But do you know something? He came to the pulpit and preached like nothing happened. I sat where I was sitting throughout. I never even thought of being a pastor or anything. I was just a brother in church doing my thing. But where my focus was where his wife was sitting. I was just feeling for the innocent woman. You know, she sat down in that service. She was crying throughout the service. And a lot was already going through her mind. If not for ministry, can this ever happen? So we have no idea of the sacrifice. Sometimes in preparing message, you have to stay all through the night. No matter how you think you are good at preaching, my best of where you can't get my best is when I'm preparing for messages. Because my heart can just be sunk in it. Sometimes you are opening this, you are doing this, you are doing that, and all of that. Thank you so much, pastors, for all that we do. Every opportunity you have to celebrate your pastors, please do. Please do. Sometimes pastors go through a lot. I went to preach somewhere, and I was telling them one time, I said, after this powerful message, we were close to the house. My wife asked me, say, now that we're closer, what are we going to eat? But we preach a powerful message. People were blessed. But nobody sees that part. Not now. It's the sacrifice. Thank you so much, pastors, for the sacrifice. Please be seated. Please be seated. And please help me celebrate yourselves. And in celebrating yourself, help me turn to your neighbor and tell them, my heart is full of love for you. My heart is full of love for you. Our time is fast spent. Like I said, it's our love month. So might not be preaching much as it is. I'm like he that be sparing the way for for our resident pastors to come and deal with the teaching. But how many of you were blessed last Sunday? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We started considering the subject of simply agape last Sunday. Because as declared as our theme of the month, we are made to understand what the God kind of love is. And we're told last Sunday that the God kind of love is sacrificial kind of love. It is that love that does not insist on its own. It is that love that does not put self first, but others first. It is the love that seeks the welfare of others above the welfare of yourself. And in that service, we get the qualities of unconditional love. Right? We talked about love is patient. We talked about love is... Love is kind. We said love is what? Love is not envious. And we said love does not take record of wrongs. And we said anyone who is not living according to that life is not living according to the prescription of God. And we're told from 1 John verse 4, 8, that for he that whoever does not love does not know God, because God is what? Is love. Now, for the few minutes that I have, having established that fact that God is love, and if we must walk in God, we must walk by the Spirit, we must walk by love. It's also important for you to know that making decision of walking in love will cost you a lot. It will cost you a lot. Because it cost him a lot. And that is why we're told in the book of John 3:16, right? For God so loved the world that he gave. We are given the magnitude of it. He gave his only what? Begotten son. That is, when love is not costing you, then check it out. Is it God's kind of love? Any love that is displayed under convenience, you need to also check it out. Because every love as prescribed by scriptures must cost you something. We were told that he came to his own. Even his own did not accept him. That's how much it was. Even his own rejected him. But beyond the rejection, the sacrificial kind of love, he looked beyond the rejection and still went ahead to give his life for them. So, in operating by this love, it will cost you something. I need to establish that fact. And in costing you something, many times we read through scripture. I can't place my hand on that scripture where it said that if you love those that love you, you are no different with those outside. Right? So, what that scripture is also trying to tell you is this, that beyond loving the lovable, a proof that you are walking in the God's kind of love is also loving the unlovable. Because the truth is this, everybody cannot love you the same. Are you with me? Everybody cannot love you the same. And in talking about loving the unlovable, many a times, they are not people that are far from you. Just the same way you have those who are loving around you, there are people who are unlovable. And in talking about these unlovable people, you find them everywhere, even in ministry. There are people who just hate you as a pastor for no reason. Are you with me? There are certain people who just, even them can't tell you why they hate you. Have you seen somebody discussing another person and say, I can't even say why I don't like this guy? Did he offend you? No. There are people who shows it to you that I don't like you. That can be that's an unlovable person. But Christ said in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 43, we'll read that. He said, I'm reading the Good News translation. He said, you have heard that it was said, love your friends, hate your neighbors. He said, but now I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. He says, so that you may what? Become the children of your Father in heaven. For he makes his sun to shine on bad and good people alike. He gives rain to those who do good and to those who do evil. He said, why should God reward you if you love only the people who love you? Why should God reward you if only you love the people who love you? Only the people who love you. What it means is that there is no reward in loving just the people who loves you alone. I learned this early in life and it has helped me. Many times I've seen it. Just a recent one. There is a place I go to park my car because we've not walked on our gate. And so somebody very dear to my heart, sir, we met that same day. Greeted and all of that. The next day, I think I parked my car. The next day, was going to go get the car. And somebody, the person I was parking my car in their compound, reached out to me and said, what did you do to this person? And I said, what did I do? And then he said, this person came here yesterday and was telling her that, do you know that you offended me? And she was asking, how did I offend you? And the person said, you know that this person, I and this person are no longer close. And you are still allowing him to bring his car into your compound. A proof that you have offended me. Your natural self should say that when you see that same person the next day, you should retaliate. But I was moved with that action with my wife to still buy a gift that same week to go send greetings. A proof that you love the unlovable is that you don't pay evil for evil. Anyone who is walking in love never seeks revenge. If you are walking in the God's kind of love, you don't seek revenge. Will people hurt you? Yes. As a matter of fact, we live in a hurting world. Many people are hurt. And there's what they say that hurting people do what? They hurt others. Sometimes it's not because they really want to hurt others, but they just feel that life is not fair to them. And by that, they've not allowed the Spirit of God to help their hearts. And so they begin to display. So the Bible said, there is no reward if you love only the people who love you. Because even tax collectors do that. And if you speak only to your friends, have you done anything out of the ordinary? If you speak only to your friends, have you done anything out of the ordinary? Even the pagans do that. He said, but you must be perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect. This is our admonition. Choosing to love even the unlovable. An unlovable person can come as a form of critics to you. They are just people that there is nothing good you want to say, they criticize it. That can be an unlovable person. That can be an unlovable person. They are just critical, anything that has to do with you. And I'm not saying constructive criticisms when it comes to things that has to do with you, but destructive criticisms. When anything good happens around you, you notice them. They are predictable. You just notice that the next 2-3 days, they won't greet you properly. And Christ is saying, you can't win them over by trying to act like they do. Are we together? Are we together? Are we together? Because there's a demand that is placed on you to love. You must choose to love. Because there's a demand that is placed on you to love, you must choose to love. Who are unlovable people? I said they can be critic people. They can be judgmental when it comes to your matter. You understand? They can be people who just want to make life difficult for you. They can come in form of a boss. They can come in form of a spouse. They can come in form of a lecturer. I said spouse, yes. They can come in form of that. There are many people in marriage today that what they are calling marriage, they may appear on the outside like marriage. They are just two hostel mates, roommates staying together. Why? Because there is something in the heart of one of the other, finding it difficult to forgive. And so every opportunity they have to do, they show their unlovableness. Have you not seen some women, when somebody is saying some things about their husband, they say, It's not conscious. It might not be intentional, but because there is something in their heart. And that's why I led us to pray that prayer, that Lord, help my heart. That boss that wants to make life difficult for you, there is nothing you have ever done that has been good. I'm sure you know there are people like that. There is no how you do things to please them. They must always find an error in what you are doing. They are out to make life difficult. And there are people also, an unlovable person can be somebody who just take pleasure in making your life miserable. They just want to make you miserable. And I've seen people like that, sir. That when they know that somebody wants to do something for you, they go behind you and tell the person. Have you not seen people like that? And then they go and say some negative things about you. The same person that told you, come back tomorrow, you are calling them now, they are not picking your call. And you are wondering in your world what happened. Somebody somewhere has gone somewhere to say some things. There are certain people, even in church, that would have taken certain position, but because somebody went somewhere and said something about them, and many a times what was said was not true about them. There are people who are recommended for certain promotions and the rest. But because of resentment, because of hatred, because of bitterness, some, and then you might be that kind of person listening to me, either you are watching online or you are here. You need to also trust God for your heart. Because when you are finished doing it, even you now ask yourself, it's not my desire, but You know there are people like that. After you have gone and spoiled the person, and then the person lost the contract, even you start feeling bad. But why did I even do it? If you are a sort person, healing is coming for you tonight. Healing is coming for you tonight. An unlovable person can be somebody with harsh words and actions. Harsh words and actions. Every time their action is just portraying. Action portraying dishonor. Action portraying I don't like you. Is an unlovable person. So I'm trying to give you some of these so you can see through. And then I'm just going to give you a few points on how you can love these people. I'll try as much as possible to also share some experiences of how God has helped me. I'm not perfect yet. You get it? But this is one of the matters of the heart that I settled early in life. I say this with all sense of humility, and I tell my wife, even before I got married to her, I say, see, do you know why God cannot stop blessing me? Because my heart is full of love. And I'm always excited at the things that God is doing in the lives of other people. And in the midst of celebrating and loving what God is doing in their lives, I just found out that those things keep happening to me cheaply. Cheaply. I will not be the source of people's problem, but I'll be a solution to their problem by choosing to love them regardless. That's what loving like Christ does. Choosing to be a part of their solution and not be a source of the problem. An unlovable person can be a selfish person. An unlovable person can appear as a selfish person. They are always concerned about themselves and their interests. And you know it. Even in marriages today. It's reaching out, settling just some little dispute between some couples. And then if there is anything the young man kept complaining about, he said, I've noticed that anytime my wife is serving me food, she looks for the smallest of all meats to serve me. But when it is time for her to eat, she looks for the best of all meat. And then some women can do that unconsciously. I used to have a lady, I told my wife, I said, I pray she gets married. Yes. Because anytime she wants to serve people, when she wants to serve people, she looks for anything to serve people. When it is time to serve herself, she will serve herself well. And her hand is always like this on the plate. I asked her one day, jocularly, I was telling my wife, I said, why is this lady, her hands always like this on plate? It's so that you can cover the top of the plate. People not see what you arranged on the food. That's selfishness. As simple as that can be, it was the issue. He said, I noticed that anytime we are going out, because they both go out to work, and so they have their lunch boxes. Anytime she's serving her husband's food, she just looks for one portion to serve, and then her flask is always full. But because selfishness, marriage will not end selfishness. Settle it before you enter. It's selfishness that will make a woman tell you things like, everybody has eaten. Me now, I don't even know what to eat. You don't know it's sacrificial sometimes. A visitor come, your husband say, let's give this person food. You say, if I give, which one will I eat? A part in you, I'm not saying you should always give your food, but there's this selflessness that comes in place. You want to share. I'm not saying this to raise my honor. I've had many times, and I've learned from superiors. Many times you get to the house, have you eaten? They say, no. They say, it's your food remains. Say, no, give them, let them eat. Just get me bread, get me something to eat. As simple as that can be, there are people who cannot sacrifice for others. Selfishness. Selfishness. Service is ending. You want to run because nobody should beg you for transport. Selfishness. It's the day that you need people, you will be around them. The day you no longer get anything from there, you look for the next location to go to. Have you not seen people like that? This is the raining thing. Let's stay here. The day is no longer raining, and it is happening even in churches. They shared Indomie. Indomie Sunday today, you are there. Next week Sunday, Popcorn Sunday, you are there. The day they now say something happened between the man of God and his wife, I say, I've even been saying it. Thank God, now only Indomie I collect. You are looking for the next church to go to. You know, and there are a lot of them in the body. A man of God said, Jesus has died for the people. I can't kill myself. Because these same people, tomorrow you won't find them again. But we don't have such people here. We don't have such people here. An unlovable person can appear in form of a selfish person. Always pushing themselves. You don't care whoever gets hurt so long as you get what you want. I'm sure you know there are people like that. It does not matter who gets offended so long as I get what I want. But in the midst of it all, Christ said we should express our love towards them. Because many a times, it is this love that we show to this set of people that draws them to Christ. Sometimes the things that they do, it's not because they intended to do it. Some of them, as a result of the families they came from. Some of them, the way they were brought up. And that is why God is placing you around their lives. As that repair mechanism. And then help their heart. And that is why in loving the unlovable, you must be compassionate. You must be a compassionate believer. You must be a compassionate Christian. You must be a compassionate Christian. Your heart must be filled with love. You must be compassionate. You must be compassionate. You must be compassionate. Compassionate, and you must be kind, both in words and in action. Both in words and in what? And in action. They may not deserve it, just like you did not deserve his love also, but he chose to love you anyway. You must be compassionate. Quickly as I run through. Things to do towards loving the unlovable. You know, I've said that giving you samples of an unlovable person. Talked about selfishness. Talked about being critical, being judgmental, being resentful. You know. Number one. When an unlovable person do certain things to you, don't take it personal. Don't take it to heart. When people come to you in an unkind way, don't take it to heart. Many times what you should address in those instances is the situation and not the person. Are we together? See, don't take it to heart. Like I said, it might be the way they were brought up. Sometimes some people might not know that what they did was wrong because they were never taught. And that's why I said you must be compassionate enough to put them through. If there's anything I've always said, when some people do certain thing around me, and my wife wants to react, I say, see, no. If they know better, they will do better. So don't take it to heart. Don't take it to heart. Don't take it to heart. For Jesus, when he was going to be crucified, these were the same people he was going to be killed for. Right? But if he was going to be counted to them, Jesus had to halt it. He said, Father, forgive them. For what? Please, let me hear you. For they know not what they are doing. For they know not what they are doing. If only they can see that the reason why I'm going through what I'm going through is because of them, they won't be doing what they are doing. But now that they don't know, it will not also stop what your plan and your purpose for their lives. Have you come to a point where you do certain things for some people, and then you hear them open their mouth and say, what has he ever even done for me? I stayed with him just 6 months. And that 6 months I stayed with him, I used to buy my food myself. Have you heard people say things like that? That is a sign for you to grow some level of pain and bitterness. I'm sure you know that. As simple as this thing I'm saying, it can feel a part of your heart that you can find it very hard to forgive because you know what it cost you to sacrifice your bed some of those days so they could sleep. So don't hold people's words. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? You hear a foolish young man tell you, what did my father do? It's only school fees that he paid. Did you know the sacrifice it took him to pay school fees? The young man is asking his father, he says, where were you when your mates were doing this, were doing that? Now only school fees you pay. Don't worry, you will get there. Sometimes when I forget David's school, and then you see those teachers greeting you extra, the extra is to remind you of something, not that. I say, oh, Mrs. Lillian, I'll see you tomorrow. You now remember, where did your father get the money from? Unlovable people, they will make you feel like what you have done for them does not hold water. But it shouldn't stop you. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? So it's not about them, it's about you. I've heard people say things like, because of what this person do to me, I just decided to change over everybody. No. You're not walking in love that way. You are not walking in love that way. That one person wronged you does not shut the door against others. Are you with me? If they had known better, they would do better. Are you with me? How do you love the unlovable? Sometimes you will also need to check inwardly. You will need to check inwardly from the things that they have said. Are you with me? So sometimes when they say certain things to you, you also need to check inwardly. Why do I always feel hurt by these things that this person says to me at all the time? Sometimes it might be that it's your pride that wants to just show up. And so, you address the matter. Loving the unlovable, don't just hear when they give some criticisms. When they say some words, like I say, you might not hold it, but you can also check. It might be your pride that wants to get the way. So check. Number 3, how do you love the unlovable? You can limit your conversation or engagement with them. You can limit your conversations or your engagement with them. See, if there is somebody that when you talk to every time, like I said, they can appear to be a friend, your boss, they can appear to be whoever. You can limit your conversation with them. When you notice that anytime you talk to this person about the things that God is doing through your life or things that God is showing to you, it affects your confidence. I'm sure you know there are people like that. That many times when you tell them things about what God is showing to you or the things that you plan to do, I'm not saying you'll be inspired to want to go and do more. But you just go back always and you want to have a rethink and say, did I really hear God? The best you can do when you identify such people is to avoid them. Are you with me? You need to avoid them. Sometimes you might also limit the information you get across to them. Not everybody is qualified to know everything about you. It's just so unfortunate that some of us, you meet somebody in 1 month, they know every history about your family. Somebody was talking to me one time, and it's not a bad thing. But, yeah. But limit the things you say. In 1 month, somebody meets you, you have told them the history of you even tell them. Somebody was telling me one time, he said, in our family, 2 people don't get rich at the same time. One have to get rich, then when you get to one point, you step down for another. And it's a normal thing with a family. Talk. Some of you, there are people you were not supposed to tell some things that is happening in your life. That's why you are where you are. Huh? Be careful of your talk also. That we're all church members does not mean love everybody. Are you hearing me? But be wise with informations. You tell somebody you just got into a relationship. The guy has not even asked you out. The guy just asked you out. He has not even told you he'll marry you. You go and meet another person. And unlovable people, like I said, they can be selfish. Because they have interest in that person, they will discourage you. That guy went head flat. May your children head no be like. You want to marry that dark person. You can't enter house. They could define your children when no light. They just want to spoil everything. And so even you now go back to go and have a rethink. Are you sure? This is the person. You can limit your conversation with such people. Are you with me? When you notice that these people, when I give them information, is not helping their heart. It's not helping their heart. Limit your information to them. Are you with me? Limit your information with them. My family bought something one time and I told somebody that God blessed us with this. And was telling another person that watch it. Now that they have this, their pride level will increase. Their pride level will increase. You wear something, and because you are looking good, they will ask you who that shoe. Because they believe in your word, you can't buy it. Have you heard people say things like that? Who that shoe this? Because they believe you can't buy it. Please be wise. Limit your engagement with them. How to love the unlovable. Also, I know I said you should limit your conversation. Number 5. Show them love. Show them love. Huh? Because Bible said we should love not just our friends but our enemies. So you must be intentional with showing them love. Are you hearing me? You must be intentional. You must learn to show them love. You know, sometimes some of these things, like I said, might be based on ignorance because they don't know. A young man was misbehaving around me one time. And so, I don't know, something happened like that. He came and lived with me. I think he lived with me for almost a year. And so, after like some months, every day I found out that he keeps apologizing to me. So I asked him, I won't call his name. Watch it. He said, Pastor, I'm so sorry. I said, why? He said, what he was told was not what he was saying. And moreover, every of the things he was doing as a result of what he was fueled. Because somebody told him that if they check his age and your age, people might not be, the age difference might not be different. So don't allow him to. But even in the midst of that, I kept showing love to the young man. See, you are better off expressing love even to the unlovable. And in expressing love to those who have shown you some level of hatred, it's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It's a sign of strength. It's a sign of strength. It's a sign. Show them love. Are you hearing me? Somebody communicates certain things to me. Even in the midst of that, I'll show you more love. I'll show you more love. Show more love. Your boss is expecting you to react, respond with love. And so as believers, we must learn not to be reactive, but to be responsive. That's what Christ is saying. If Jesus has reacted, he might just have dropped the cross and said, "This guy, I'm not doing again." But he continued. I don't know the height of rejection, the height of resentment. I don't know the level of hatred must have gotten. But can I tell you this? You want to walk in victory, in perpetual victory. You want to live a healthy life. You want to prosper in your spirit, soul, and body. Then you must show love even to those that hate you. I said to that earlier on in my work, even in ministry for the little years, being around this. Everybody cannot like me. But that does not mean I should gather a bunch of haters. No. No. I will show you love instead. That head of department did something you don't like. They appear to be unlovable. Every time you give instruction, they are the one that want to fight instruction. Don't fight back. If you fight back with love. Huh? Fight back with love. And don't allow the thoughts to always rest on your mind. Things that people have done, don't allow the thoughts. And lastly, as I try to close, how do you love the unlovable? Pray for them. Pray for them. Pray for them. Pray for them. Bible says, pray for those who do what? Who persecute you. In praying for them, you are not just praying that God bless this person that offend me with money and all of that. When you are praying, the blessing that you are praying upon them is both spiritual, that God will also help their heart so they can understand or see early that this path they are towing is a path of destruction. Pray for those who resent you. You know, Pastor Victor was saying, sometimes some of these things can be said. It can be very easy to just say that pray for those that love you. But don't get to those. Don't pray that you encounter some position. You know, I used to say something. I say, see, ministry has developed. There is nothing you can do that can really shake me. Sincerely. Sincerely. Because if you want to talk of, well, maybe the worst. We have seen it. And that in the midst of that, you will still call their names to pray for them. My deliverance came 2011, I think, during my Bible school, Word of Abbey. And then a preacher came from one of the villages. It was even a village, with all my number of attending church, it was a village pastor that came. So those of you that cannot follow, God, you can never follow, huh? You know, I found out that I was a brother who, born again, an executive in the fellowship, doing well, but this area of praying for those who have offended was one difficult area, because even if I call the name is heavy, I take it back. Sometimes in calling their name, it just brings a fresh memory of the things they did. And I know that I'm not at fault. And after this man's section, in that class that day, he said, start calling the names and he gave us what to say. How will I be blessing the person who offended me this way? I expect that once you leave this class, go back and go and deal with them. But he said, pray for them that persecute you. And he said, begin to call their name. I found out that the more I called their name, the more the weight was lifting. It was in that hall, 2011, I found out so much that I had not forgiven my own father. It may appear like that. Yeah. I found out that I had not forgiven my own biological father. Why? Because sometimes when I just think of the things growing up as a child, the things you saw that was shown to your mother, you say, Kai, no. So you want to join forces with your siblings too to deal with him. But can I tell you, love conquers all. My father was close to his deathbed, and he told me, he said, Pastor, he said he wants to ask for one thing. He said, can I please forgive him? He might not have the privilege to meet all my siblings, but you are their pastor. Can you please, for the things that you have seen me do, whether to your mother or to whoever, or but I didn't take care of you people the way I expected to, say, can you please find a place in your heart and forgive me? And I saw an old man, like a baby, crying. But 2011, my heart was corrected to pray for him. Pray for those who hurt you. Not everybody will pay you good for the good you've done to them. But Bible is saying, it is evil to pay evil with evil. People will resent you, but pray for them. There are some church members that have dealt with me. You know, Paul said, I've handed them over. Sometimes you just feel like, let me just carry them and give. But love say no. Pray for them. I met one many years ago on campus. Did wonderfully well to me. After years, we met. But do you know that in the midst of all they were doing, I was praying for them. It may take years, but the people will recognize their mistake and they will apologize to you. And they will also appreciate you for being patient with them. Are you with me? And said, sincerely, he is so sorry about everything that they did. They did it out of ignorance. I was praying for this young man with all that he did to me. And sometimes, like I said, in loving like God kind of love, it will cost you something. The Spirit of God now said, his younger brother, that same person, we're leaving the university, the younger brother got admission. And God said, everything you are packing out, give to the younger brother. How will I see him wear the things that your brother dealt with me? But love made me release everything. And I'm better off for it today. I'm better off. In loving the unlovable, you must pray for them. I want you to stand to your feet. I want to stand to your feet. This is all that this month seeks to address. You have no excuse. You have no excuse. Christ has given you the instruction to go ahead and love regardless. And he has told you, not on the basis of what the people have done, but because of him. So sometimes, maybe because of what the people have done, that's why you want to pay back. No. There is no reward in it. He said even pagans do that. But because of his love in your heart that is being shared abroad. Leave this service this evening. Huh? I'm not saying make enemies to love them. But anyone who must have posed themselves as unloving to you. Huh? Leave this service and begin to express the God kind of love to them. In your actions. In your words. Are you hearing me? Don't say they said because pastor said that. It is a decision that you have made regardless. Even if the people show some level of whatever, we will still show up for them. In a prayer team, we will still pray. You will still pray for them. Are you hearing me? Regardless, I will choose to love. I will show them love. And I will keep praying for them. Will somebody do that? Will you leave this service doing that? Don't be a part of that believer who is always looking for what to criticize. It is not a way of trending. It's just a sign of foolishness. It's not a way of trending. It's a sign of foolishness. Because putting off the light of others does not lighten your own candle. In any way, by the mercies of God, God has helped us in our own little way. And when I mean our own little way, but in the midst of it all, we still see the happenings and then our mouths are shut. Because he said, judge not. So you will not be what? Be judged. Who made you a judge of his servant? Who made you a judge of his servant? If you don't know what to do, pray for them. Are you hearing me? Don't be a part of those people who will go under people's DM. They are talking about a man of God, and then you are putting your own comments there. You know, my own opinion. All of a sudden, you now have an opinion. In a generation where nobody has regard again. Huh? We saw the recent one that happened. Right? But God has not given me permission to judge. Don't be that one who will gather friends or gather, and that's why you must be careful of people around you. When it's time for love work, I was reading Kenneth Hagin's book, and he said a man was talking to him about another man, and they asked him, Bro Hagin, what do you think? He said, no comment. I learned something. Meaning they are expecting you to add your own. You know there are people like that. So that the day things happen, say, no, be only me talk, even you too, you said something. That day they were talking about Pastor Victor. You too, you tell us this, the way even they were called, like saying one fall down. You are part of them. Me, I didn't talk much. The only thing I just say is after I said that, I now say, let's pray for them. You have said something. Are you with me? Are you with me? Choose, make a decision from today. There is a reason why this message, the message of love, is coming earlier this year. So that you can clear your way. Are you hearing me? So you can clear your way. Choose to love regardless. Are you hearing me? It's not because of them. It's because of you. Is that okay? Is that okay? For somebody, you are going to pray. Just 1 minute. Lord, grace to love like you love. Yes, you did something for somebody, you were expecting gratitude in return, but what you got in return was a backlash. Going back to tell to people what have they done and all of that. It takes the grace of God to continue even in the midst of that. Some of you loving that unlovable father or mother or that sibling who have communicated something to you. It may not be easy. That's why you need grace. Ask that God grant me the grace. Somebody is praying. Somebody is praying. Lord, grant me the grace. Grant me the grace. Somebody is praying. It's a very sincere prayer. You know yourself. I know myself. Lord, grant me the grace. Grant me the grace. I will not return gestures the same way you expect me to return. Why? Because the love of God has been shared in my heart. There will be no room for bitterness, no room for resentment, no room for hatred. Why? Because love and hate cannot cohabit. Love and bitterness cannot cohabit. Love and resentment cannot cohabit. Lord, I choose you and you alone. I know that even in church, there might be people who must have offended you, but love will always win. Ask God to help your heart and grant you to the grace. You are watching me wherever you are watching from. Lord, help me. Don't stop praying that prayer. Don't stop praying as we receive our resident pastor. Ensure you don't stop praying.